Welcome everybody to the official would I share my lunch with this Pokemon if I were eating on a picnic bench on a wonderful summer day. We got our 6 tiers here. I would share my lunch with it. I would give it a little bit of my lunch. I would not share my lunch with it. I would try to ignore it. I would get up and leave. It would take my lunch, or it would eat me. The iconic tiers. Without further ado, this will be all the Kanto Pokemon. So let's get into it. Bulbasaur. I'd share my lunch with him. Look at him. He's so polite. He's so gentle. Ivysaur. I'd probably give him a little bit. He's a big guy. I know he doesn't need it. He can hunt for himself. He's got these fangs. There's two Venusaurs down here. I would probably also give Venusaur a little bit of my lunch. Because, again, I don't think Venusaur would take my lunch. Kind of a gentle giant. However, giant, I would definitely try to ignore you know what? I know if I saw a Gigantamax Venusaur, I would probably try to leave. Same with Mega Venusaur. Because Mega Venusaur, I think its pollen will like kill me definitely without it. Like both of these two would probably try to kill me, so I'd have to leave because of allergies. I'd share my lunch with Charmander. I would not share my lunch with Charmeleon. He just looks mean. Regular Charizard. I'd probably give him a little bit. No, he would try to take my lunch. Let's be honest. He's a bully. Gigantamax Charizard would try to eat me. Both Megas would probably try to eat me. I'd give a little bit of my lunch to a Squirtle and a Wartortle, to be honest. Blastoise, he's got guns. I would probably have to try to get up and leave to avoid the dangerous situation. Same with Gigantamax and Mega Blastoise. Caterpie. Yeah, I'd give Caterpie a little bit. I'd give him a little bit. Metapod, I would try to ignore. Butterfree. I'd give a little bit. I'd give Butterfree a little bit of my lunch. I feel like, who wouldn't? If a giant butterfly sat down and it screamed in your ear, I think you'd probably give it like a piece of lettuce or something. I'd try to ignore giant Butterfree, you know. Weedle. I'd probably give a little bit. I'd try to ignore Kakuna. Beedrill would take my lunch, and Mega Beedrill would try to eat me. Or at least kill me in some way. Look at him. He's literally built like a fighter jet. I can't stand by that. I'd give the whole Pidgey line a little bit, you know? It's just a bird. Give it some bread. Mega Pidgeot would probably try to eat me. Or no, it would just swoop down and take my lunch. I feel like Pidgeotto would also try to steal my lunch now that I think about it. Rattata, I'd give it a little bit, you know. Raticate would try to take my lunch. Both of these two literally steal food. Spearow, I feel like they would also try to steal food. Alright, Ekans. I'd give a little bit of food to Ekans, but Arbok would definitely... I feel like if I saw Arbok, I'd probably get up and leave. That's like a 6-foot-long snake with the Intimidate ability. Yeah, I'd leave. I'd give Pikachu a little bit of my lunch. Gigantamax Pikachu, I'd probably try to leave. Raichu, I'd give a little bit of my lunch to Raichu. He's a chunky boy. Alolan Raichu, I would not share my lunch with. Sandslash, I'd share my lunch with Sandslash. Sandshrew, Sandslash. I'd give Sandslash a little bit, you know. If it was a hot summer day, I would 100% share my lunch with these two because they're like covered in ice and they definitely need it. I'd definitely give them like at least a little bit of water, you know. Like if I had ice water, I would definitely give them the ice water because look at them, they're freezing. They're frigid. The Nidorans, they're all very poisonous, so I would probably give the young ones a little bit. I would not share my lunch with the middle ones, and I feel like Nidoqueen would try to take my lunch, and Nidoking would just try to kill me. I'd share my lunch with Clefairy and Clefable. Both Vulpixes I would just straight up have a lunch with. Ninetales too, probably. Maybe not Alolan Ninetales. Yeah, actually... Yeah, I'd go with that. Jigglypuff freaks me out. I would try to ignore Jigglypuff, but it would put me to sleep. So it would probably honestly take my lunch. And Wigglytuff I would just try to ignore outright. Zubat would try to. All three of these guys would try to eat. Well, there's only two here. They would both try to eat me because they drink blood and all that. Oddish, I'd share my lunch with an Oddish. Bloom, I'd try to ignore it, even though it has a very sweet smell emanating from its mouth. I would still probably try to ignore it. He's just kind of dumpy, Vileplume, I would get up and leave. Vileplume freaks me out. Same with Paris, I would try to ignore, but Parasect, I would have to leave. Venonat, I would share my lunch with. Venomoth, Venomoth, I feel like would try to take my lunch. He's just a moth, so I could stop him, but he would definitely try to take my lunch, Diglett, I would try to ignore. Alolan Diglett, I would try to allure. Dugtrio, I would get up and leave. And Alolan Dugtrio, I would also get up and try to leave. Just because, they're freaking me out. Man, it's getting hard to fit them all in frame. Gigantamax Meowth, I would definitely try to give a little bit of my lunch to. It'd be way too big. But look at him, Longcat, hell yeah. I'd share my food with both Meowths and both Persians. I forgot there were 3 Meowths. I would not share my lunch with this little guy. He's a freak. I don't like this Meowth. Galarian Meowth? They shouldn't have done him. Psyduck. I'd give Psyduck a little bit of food. Golduck I would probably try to ignore, though. No, I'd give him a little pat on the head, He'd probably peck me, because, he's a duck. But Mankey I would give a little bit of my lunch to, and Primate would definitely just take my lunch. He'd punch me in the mouth and take my food. I'd share lunch with all the dogs. All the dogs I'd share my lunch with. Poliwag, I feel like I would definitely try to feed, but I feel like since it's, a tadpole, it probably wouldn't actually want it. Poliwhirl would beat me up and take my lunch. Poliwrath would beat me up and take my lunch. Abra, I would probably try to give it a little bit. I'd toss it like a little piece of tomato or something, but definitely wouldn't want any. Kadabra knows too much. I wouldn't mess with either of these guys. Wait, oh, there's Mega Alakazam. Mega Alakazam would probably just levitate my lunch to him. I'd give Machop a piece of pepperoni. I'd give him a little bit, Machoke, I would not share my lunch with, and Machamp probably wouldn't even want my lunch because it doesn't have the macros he needs. Gigantamax, I feel like he would just punch me, punch the whole picnic table into the floor. Bellsprout, I'd share my lunch with Bellsprout. Weepinbell, I'd try to ignore. And Victory Bell, I would leave. I would sense the danger in this situation because Victory Bell could eat me easily. Tentacool, I don't think I would share my lunch with Tentacool. I would not share my lunch with Tentacool or Tentacruel. Tentacruel might try to kill me, but I don't think he would want my lunch. Do Geodudes eat? I don't know. I'd try to ignore the Geodudes. And the Gravelers, honestly. Golem's kind of got some lizard-esque. I think I would try to give it a little bit. This one would just try to kill me. He'd just fire a rock at my head. I'd try to give Ponyta a little bit of food. Rapidash, though, I feel like I would get up and leave because I felt the danger in the situation. Slowpoke, I'd give a little bit of food to Slowpoke. Both Slowpokes. Slowbro, yeah, I'd give a little bit of food to Slowbro. Mega Slowbro, I would probably give most of my food to. He looks like he needs it. This guy has a gun, so he would probably try to take my lunch, or I would get up and leave, sensing the danger in the situation. I straight up don't know if Magnemites eat. I know they can eat berries, but I think I would just try to ignore the Magnemites and the Magna Trio. Farfetch'd. Farfetch'd is another duck. I feel like it would try to take my lunch. This Farfetch'd would definitely try to knock me out and take my lunch. I'd give Doduo some breadcrumbs, Dodrio would try to grab and run with my lunch. Seal would get a little bit crumbs. Dugong I would try to ignore because he's weird. Actually, flip that. I would not share my lunch with Seal. He's too doofy. Dugong looks like a puppy, though. He'd get some. Grimer, I would try to ignore. I feel like Muck, I'd have to leave because Muck would try to, Muck would just slime over the whole table. These two are both full of garbage, so I would get up and leave. Cloyster and Shelter. I feel like if there was a pond, I would definitely be like there trying to feed them like daily. But I know they're ocean animals, so I guess if I was on the beach, Ghastly would try to take my lunch. Haunter would try to take my lunch. Gengar would try to kill me and then take my lunch. Drowsy would try to put me to sleep and eat my dreams. I'd feed Krabby. I'd give a little bit of my lunch to Krabby and Kingler. I like crabs. I think they're cool. I don't know if they eat, but they would definitely try to blow me up. All four of the bomb squads. I forgot Onyx. He snuck in there. I didn't see him. Onyx would either... I would get up and leave. I would get up and leave with Onyx. Let's be completely real. Exeggcute definitely would share my lunch with a bundle of eggs. Probably Exeggutor too. He's cool as heck. Alolan Exeggcute. Oh, I forgot about Gigantamax Kingler. I don't know where the heck he was. I would not share my lunch with him. He doesn't need it. Alolan Exeggutor. He wouldn't take my lunch, but I definitely feel like I would try to ignore him, just kind of how goofy he is. Cubone I would share my lunch with, and probably Marowak too. Well, I'd give Marowak a little bit. I'd give him like a bite of my sandwich, you know. Alolan Marowak, probably the same. Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. I feel like they wouldn't want anything to do with my food. I feel like they would just try to... I'm in pretty good shape. They might try to attack me just for martial arts training, but for the most part I would just try to ignore them because they'd probably be fighting somebody else in the park. Lickitung would take my lunch, obviously. Coughing and wheezing, I would get up and leave because they're a sign of air pollution. Galarian wheezing, however, I'd give a little bit of my lunch to Galarian wheezing. He looks like a dapper gentleman. Rhyhorn could get a little bit of lunch. Rhydon. I would not share my lunch with a Rhydon. Chansey would try to share its lunch with me, so I guess that goes to would share lunch with because it would try to give me food. That's interesting. I didn't even think about that. Tangela. I'd give a little bit of food to Tangela. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't nowadays? Who wouldn't? Kangaskhan. I feel like if I tried to give some food to Kangaskhan's, it would either give it to its baby or try to kill me. So I'm gonna put it under the would give a little bit of food too, you know. Mega Kangaskhan, I feel like the baby would try to approach me and get some, and then the mom would obliterate me. So I'm gonna put it in the would eat me column. Horsey gets a meal shared with it, and Seadra gets a little bit. Goldeen and Seaking get a little bit because they're fish, and I love feeding fish. Starmie, I feel like I would not share my lunch with it, just because like I don't. Have you ever seen starfish eat? They just kind of pull things to the middle of their body and they go like and suck it in. I wish I could like widen this in any way, shape, or form, but I can't. I can't do that. Mr. Mime I would try to ignore, and Galarian Mr. Mime I would also try to ignore. Scyther could get a little bit of lunch. Jinx would get ignored. Electabuzz would get a little bit of lunch. Whoops. And Magmar would get a little bit of lunch. Pinsir would probably try to ignore me, stick to a tree. Mega Pinsir would try to kill me. Tauros would either try to kill me or would just be minding its own business. If it came up to me, I'd give it a little bit of food, but I feel like it wouldn't. Alolan Tauros is a fighting type. It would definitely try to take me out. Magikarp would get a little bit of food, and Gyarados would try to kill me. Mega Gyarados would also try to kill me. Mega Lapras, or Gigantamax Lapras. I feel like I would not share my lunch with it, but if I saw that out in the ocean while I was eating lunch on the beach, I would definitely be like, cool, yeah, that's awesome. That's a cool little piece, as long as it doesn't hit me with a Perish song. Regular Lapras, I would give some food to. I'd give it a whole apple and watch it eat it. Ditto, I feel like would try to trick me and steal my lunch or turn itself into my lunch and try to trick me into eating it. So really don't know what to do with that situation. I'd share lunch with Eevee. Mega Eevee, I'd give a little bit of food to. All the Evolutions would get a bite. They'd all get a bite of the sandwich. Let's be honest here, guys. Porygon would probably try to hack my phone, so I'd try to ignore it, hide my phone. Ammonite and Amistar. All of the fossils, the baby fossils, I would definitely give a little bit of food to. You know, they're cute. The adult fossils, though, I would try to ignore because they look really scary. Aerodactyl would probably try to take my lunch, just like a swooping bat. Snorlax would try to take my lunch. Snorlax would, if he woke up, would try to take my lunch. If he stayed asleep, it wouldn't be an issue. Mega Snorlax would probably be the park that I'm eating on while submerged in the ground. All of the legendary birds, I would leave just because of the amount of energy they possess. I don't exactly know what the new ones do. I think she's psychic, he's fighting, and Moltres is dark, evil. Oh, he's evil. He tried to take my food, obviously. The Dragonair line. I'd share my lunch with Dratini, give a little bit to Dragonair and Dragonite. I feel like I would give a little bit to Dragonite and then it would just eat all of my food. Mewtwo. Mewtwo would take my lunch. Mega Mewtwo X would try to kick my ass, and Mega Mewtwo Y would also just... Mega Mewtwo Y would be smart enough. She'd be so smart I'd be uncomfortable, I'd want to leave. Mew I would absolutely share my lunch with. And that's all of Gen 1, ladies and gentlemen. You can definitely tell I have a preference for little guys and animals that I see daily, and also whatever the heck Slowpoke is supposed to be. I think Slowpoke is like supposed to be some weird like hippo thing, but I'm not positive. I would not share my lunch with any of the angsty teens or weirdos or Pokemon that I would just want to watch walk around. I try to ignore these Grunglisses, the dudes I feel like would be hazardous to bring around. I would get up and leave the ones that have a direct hazard or potential to like attack me. These guys clearly, obviously, would try to take my lunch by force, and these ones would just try to end my life in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Do I have any blunders on here? Are any of these Pokemon, any of you Pokedex purists, would any of these Pokemon actually try to kill me? Let me know. Like and subscribe, share this around. See you guys next time when I do Gen 2.